Here we are, our very first episode of Series 2, the Pro Series. Going to be speaking to you about how to connect video to QLab. So the first thing we're going to speak about is what you need and how to connect it. First thing I'm going to point out to you is that you're going to need some sort of adapter like these. These are two most popular adapters. This is HDMI right there, and this is VGA. Now this one, get rid of it. Unless you absolutely have to use VGA, you do not want to. The only reason you use VGA is if you have an older projector, an older system, or you're working on a cruise ship that's 10 years old and the systems unfortunately have not been updated yet to HDMI. To give you a real quick reason why is that VGA is only 800 by 600 pixels. So the quality of VGA is drastically less quality than you're going to get with a high quality HDMI. Now, of course, you have different qualities in HDMI as well. You can have 720 or 1080, 2K, 4K, but even the basic lowest quality HDMI is going to far surpass anything you get from VGA. Of course, you have other options as well, like DVI and all that kind of stuff. But the VGA and the HDMI are your two standard consumer products that you're going to be able to connect to your computer to get output into a LED monitor, a LED wall, a projection screen, projectors, whatever you're going to use. Okay. In this case, we're going to be connecting it to a television set, which is the exact same procedure on how to connect it to a projector or an LED wall or anything else. So the first thing you need is a HDMI adapter. In this case, I'm using USB-C because that is what my laptop is. It's a MacBook Pro and it has USB-C outputs on it. So in this case, I'm using USB-C to this dongle right here. I will suggest one key feature when using HDMI. Always try to stay with a Apple certified adapter. Now, when it comes to using VGA, that doesn't really apply. I can use third-party VGA adapters all the time. I have never had any issue with them at all. A third-party HDMI, however, something like this dongle right here, which I do use all the time with my own systems, is fantastic. This little dongle here has a VGA and a HDMI built into it. You can use one or the other. You can't use both. This is actually available on my website. Not the actual. You don't buy it from me, but there's a link on to where to get it. Same goes for these right here. I want to point out to you though, I do use this when I'm connecting to a television set or I'm connecting to my own personal projector. I will not use these third-party adapters when connecting my main video output to a high-quality professional venue like a Disney Cruise Line, where they have tons of connectors and adapters and converters and going through watch out before it goes to their projector. So the reason why is somehow the language between the computer going through the HDMI adapter to their systems, it loses some key element. It loses what I call handshake. It does not speak to the projector properly, and you'll only get a black screen. I don't have this problem when I use an HDMI third-party adapter in my own house, to my TV set, to my own projector. Never an issue. But the moment it's going through all these tons of converters, on cruise lines, a lot of times the projector can be 800 feet away from the backstage area, and it's sometimes being routed all the way to like deck 11 to the broadcast booth and then rerouted back up. And it's going through so many systems, somehow it loses what I call the handshake, and it doesn't work properly. So I'm always going to suggest when using HDMI, use proper Apple certified HDMI adapters. Once again, this does not have this issue with VGA. That handshake doesn't exist, I think, with VGA, and it works just fine. But once again, avoid VGA. Quality's too low. So I already have HDMI plugged in. Let's go ahead and start and show you how to connect QLab to your output right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down here and open up QLab. And what's more important than anything right now is connecting your screen to your computer. So I already have a monitor which is placed out of shot of this camera right now that you cannot see, but it is plugged into this very long HDMI cable. I'm going to take the HDMI cable, I'm going to plug it into the computer. In my case, I have a hub on the outside of the shot, which is already plugged into the computer. When I plug in the HDMI, you'll notice that the screen will flash. That is normal. And that's anytime you add any secondary surface to the computer. So right now you'll see the screen flashes. That's totally fine. The monitor now has just went to the desktop image of my computer screen to match. Now, if you plug in your HDMI and you see your exact computer screen on the monitor, that's bad. You don't want that. It's called mirroring. In QLab, you do not want to mirror your image. That means you have no control over QLab when what you're seeing, and that's just a big no-no. It's altogether, you don't do that. So if you move your desktop around, or a window around, or your mouse around, and you see it moving on the secondary screen at the exact same time, that's called mirroring. We don't want to have that way. So we're going to go down to Settings, and we're going to go to Displays, and we're going to hit Arrangement. And if this mirror button is clicked on, you're going to see both of these windows overlaid on top of each other in the same exact aspect ratio, which means your desktop will also change the aspect ratio to match your secondary surface, which also sucks because it's always smaller. So, or in most cases it's smaller. So we're going to make sure that mirror is not checked, and you're going to want to have these two windows like this. Just so you're aware, the window with the little white bar on top, that's your Mac screen. The white bar is this little bar right here, okay? You can also, for example, in this case, I am looking at my computer screen, and my secondary screen is off to my left. So I placed the secondary screen on my left. However, if you're backstage and your secondary screen is on your right-hand side, over that way, it's just a little bit confusing when you're trying to drag a window over on that physical screen, but you have to go left on your... So what you can do is you can grab the secondary screen and you can move it wherever you want, okay? So let's say you're working in the audience and you're facing the screen programming, you can actually put that screen above you, and then when you have to throw an image up there, it's very, very easy to do. So I always do that. I always just put the image to where my actual physical screen is. In this case, it's on my left, so I put it there. Don't have to do this, but it becomes easier when you're trying to work on Windows. For example, if I drag my mouse off of this screen, it's now going to appear on my secondary screen, and I can drag the window from the secondary screen over to here. I could not do that if I didn't know where my screen was located in my little mouse world, right? So we can close software preferences. We don't need that anymore. Now, in our QLab workspace, we're going to go to the little settings window down here, and we're going to click video. All right. Now in video, you're going to see this surface. It says surface 1, and in this case, it says 1680 by 1050. That is not our secondary screen. That is your or my computer monitor. Those dimensions may change depending on your computer screen. However, that's not what you want. And I'm going to show you an example of that right now. If I hit Edit and I hit Grid, which is what I use to test all of my screens. If you hit Grid, you're supposed to get a grid on your secondary screen. But if I hit Grid now, it just turned my main screen of my computer into a grid, which means anything that I project or played in the show is going to come up on that screen. And by the way, you will lose all control over QLab when that happens because you can't see. So to get out of that, you can hit the escape key on your computer to get rid of that window or to get rid of the cue that's playing by accident, okay? So the first thing I do with a new workspace is I go in here and I find that surface, which is actually my computer screen, which you do not want to use in QLab, and I'm going to delete it. I'm going to hit this little X right here, and now it's gone. Now I have no surfaces, all right? You're going to go down here to this little plus sign. Keep in mind, to do this, you do need a video license. I do not sell the licenses. That comes from QLab Direct, which is at figure53.com. The links for that website can be located on my website, which I'm sure you already have because you're currently on Pro Series, and I'm sure you have QLab by now. But to use video, I believe you do have to have a video license. at least you're going to need a video license to be able to save it. So maybe you can play with it, but I'm not sure what the system is at the moment. I have a video license, so I'm not exactly sure how that works, but you definitely need one to be able to use it in a show or to save the file. So we're going to go here and we're going to click New Display. Now, because I have my computer display and I have a secondary TV monitor plugged in, you can now see both displays popping up here where it says New with Display. Okay, so my computer screen is 1680 by 1050 and my LCD TV is 1920 by 1080, which means it's 1080 pixels, which is standard high definition. It's 1080, not 720. 720 would have been a smaller amount, which would have been 1080 by 720. Still HD, but not as high quality as 1080 HD, which is kind of the standard right now for almost all TVs, unless you have a 2K or 4K television. But when you're projecting and you're working in a venue, usually 1080, 1920 is about what you're going to get most of the time. So we're going to choose that. We're going to click LCD TV, and this surface pops up right now, and it says Surface 1. You're going to name it. So I'm going to name it QLab TV. So if I click the grid button right here, as you can see by my face getting brighter, the grid is going on and off because I'm clicking it on and off to show you. And it's showing me that entire white grid on the screen, which is how I know it's working perfectly. So you are now officially connected. We can start programming video cues. So let's go to the next video. Let's do our very first cue.